All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Mentor Asia Pacific. We're here. We're going to do another interview. This is Hila'an. I'm again Alvin Sanga. We're going to talk about his story and what he's doing for the community and for himself. So, welcome to the show, Hila'an. Nice to meet you, my brother.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for having me.
Heard a lot about you. You know, we've seen you out there in the public doing your thing. So, share one thing that most people might not know about you.
One thing most people might not know about me. I graduated from FD. For real. Every time I tell people that, they're always like, "What?"
Yeah.
You know, you look like you look and you sound and you just feel like you either went to like Southern or GW or something, and I'm just like, I don't know, man.
I don't know. So what do you think that is like? Do you feel that is that way for you, or?
Well, yeah, a little bit. You know, I never really felt like I really fit into well at FD.
Okay.
It was just a lot of people with different perspectives and just grew up different.
Okay.
You know, so it's kind of didn't really have a solid set group of friends. You know,
Okay.
like even now from FD, I probably have like honestly one good friend that I like really keep up with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Man, I'm a FD graduate too, and there are definitely some days where I'm like, did I really go to that school? Like, you know, there's a lot of things that we talk about, even with my friends that I keep in contact. I'm like, dude, I don't know if I really fit that mold when I was going to school there, but no, we went through it and we graduated from that school and kind of where we are now.
Yeah.
Okay, so talk to me about your story. Like, how did you get to where you are today?
Well, it all started at birth with my name,
Okay.
Hila'an. You know, it's a really uncommon name, and yeah, there are kids like my age with Chamoru names, but it's all like Tanu Hurao, Tasi, Isa, Hani, you know, and when I was born, my dad, I don't know, he was the one who like had the last say for what my name would be, and I think it's really important for you to have a name in Chamoru because your name is one of your first ties to identity, and it's really important that you think of yourself as existing in your language, you know, because that is like that's like one of the first like It really helps with how you develop your perspective, you know, growing up, and it's a strong influence on how you see yourself is a really strong influence on how you're able to take everything else that is outside of yourself and react to it, you know. So, yeah. And then just throughout my whole childhood, my parents were activists, so they would take me to like the protests and stuff. My mom was a journalist, and she liked to focus on a lot of the like political issues. Even now, she's running a newspaper called the Pacific Island Times. It's one of the newest ones, and it's like it's an economic update like every month. It's a monthly issue. You know, it goes and it runs from CNMI, Palau, FSM, some from the Philippines and Guam. So they really made sure to like expose me to a lot of culture. You know, to immerse me really. When I was really young, my dad actually was staying in the jungle, literally living in the jungle, no job, no house, no nothing, just a tin shack in the jungle. Like, you know where Lost Pond is at?
Yep.
So he was staying in Lost Pond in a tin shack, like all the way in there, living off the land and sea. And that was probably the second strongest influence I had in shaping my perspective of the world, you know? Like I first imprinted on the world as being the jungle and the ocean.
Okay.
So every thought after that was influenced by that, you know?
So you got a real like grassroots and honed in. So you talked about your name, Hila'an.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? And how did your dad have that last say to name you that?
Hila'an, right? So the place that he was staying at, the place where Lost Pond is located, in Hila'an is referred to, or in Chamoru is referred to as Hila'an.
Okay.
And Hila'an is a two-part word, Hila and An. Hila is means the tongue,
Okay.
And an is a suffix that is kind of an indication of the embodiment of, or having the qualities of. So I'm the tongue-in man,
Okay.
Or I guess you could say like an orator or a philosopher or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody who shares for the most part.
Yeah.
Sharing
Share
their story.
stories.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know if there's going to be a loose translation, but storyteller for the most part. Could be. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you talked a little about your story and your upbringing, and you going to kind of these activist roots from your family, going with your mom. So talk to me about some of the struggles you may have had, like growing up, and where you are at today.
There's kind of this negative connotation about the whole activism movement.
Okay.
You're just angry native. I've had people call me AA, just calm down there, Chamoru Nation, or who do you think you are, Angel Santos, or shit like that. And I'm just like, dude, you guys, maybe if you spend some time around these people, these communities, you'd have a deeper understanding of it, and you would see why we react the way we react to some of the things that happen on this island. And some people think that these are new issues only coming up now. Dude, these issues have been around since before our time.
Yep.
When I say our time, I mean everyone like 25 and under.
Yep. Or even 30 before me too. So,
yeah. See, there you go, dude. So it's like, I think the hardest part is just getting my brothers and sisters to stand on the same side.
Okay.
There's an African proverb that says, when I put my fist in the air for Africa, it's only one fist because my other fist is fighting off the rest of the Africans. Trying to tell me, hey, put your hands down.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like that thing, crabs in a bucket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, family outreach. I kind of want to backtrack into that for the most part. It's definitely one thing that being an activist and putting a mission out there, it's definitely rough. I know that stigma is there, that people think that you're angry or that you're trying to push, personal motive, but it's more of a community motive that you're trying to, put outreach out there and also make it known that, we're
not against anyone.
We're not against anyone.
We kind of accommodate everyone.
Yes.
While trying to be for ourselves. Mm-hmm. And of course, we're not going to be for someone who is against us.
Okay.
That's human nature.
Yep.
Like, that's it, dude.
Yeah.
You push back.
Yep.
Reaction.
Yeah. So I think this is where I'm at now, where I'm kind of also juggling, like living on Guam, being, I guess, Guamanian, but being Filipino, like Filipino Guamanian, and how my parents came here, and going through my upbringing, and I'm in this space now where I'm trying to figure out where can I fall, where can I help out, or what is my identity growing up on Guam, and that's kind of the mission that I'm trying to figure out, and be helpful in that matter. And I think it's the process of helping other people find out who they are is what's pushing me forward. So, mentors are a big part. You talked about your parents being big in your upbringing. Are there any other mentors that might have inspired you or motivated you to continue?
Yeah, man. Everyone I come into contact with, because everyone you meet in your entire life will be able to offer you something that you didn't have before. Knowledge, wisdom, anything. Mm-hmm. You got to see everything as a learning opportunity, because when you allow your mind to be stagnant, you might as well be dead. Ooh, it's cold. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, so last thing. So I know you read the cards that it's supposed to be I think 10 years back, and what advice you'd give yourself, and you spoke to me about it, behind the scenes. But I kind of want to. You have this view of Guam that's different, that you saw it from the smallest perspective, with your dad, and I don't think a lot of people have seen that image of Guam and grown up that way. They know where it's at, kind kind of this technically the small city idea. So if you were to give advice about, or give anybody an idea of what they should go to see about Guam, especially growing up here, like what would you advise them to experience?
Just open yourself up to any experience that anyone is willing to offer you, because every experience can widen your perspective and give you more insight on a lot more things, you know, like being young, you know, especially as a teenager, you think you know it all, you know, and it's not until you reach your 20s and you're like, fuck, dude, like, I really didn't know, you know? Dude, it's important to widen your perspective, really have a good sight on everything. Like me, like, man, in my 23 years, I can say I've lived a lot of life, man. Okay. Like, I've lived in the jungle. I've lived in like every era of Chamoru history. I've lived it. I lived the ancient life. I've lived in a tin house on a farm. I've lived in a hut in the jungle on the beach, and I've lived in a concrete house. You know, like I've been like there in every stage, ancient, early colonial, and modern. You know, like, and that's really been able to help me shape my mind into what it is now. And I think the biggest piece of advice that I could give someone, you know, trying to come up, trying to figure out what they want to do, is just listen to your elders, listen to yourself, your heart, follow your heart, because your heart can't lead you in the wrong direction, you know.
All right, guys, listen to your heart. Thank you very much, Hila'an, for being on the show. Once again, this is Mentor Asia Pacific. I'm Alvin Sangha. That's another episode in the books. Hopefully we see some of these mentors in your schools sometime soon. Stay tuned. Thank you. All right, good times, man. It was awesome show. That's a great. Thanks, guys, for tuning into Mentor Asia Pacific. Once again, I'm Alvin Sangha. Check out all our social media. That's going to be linked down below. Stay tuned. More mentors are to come. We're going to be releasing a mentor every week. And please leave a comment down below for any mentors that you'd like to be featured on the channel. Any business professional, entrepreneur, or anybody that you believe is inspiring and can provide to be a mentor for the youth of Guam. Till next time, thank you very much. Sangha out.